Hello, welcome to my channel. This is a general video on how I do canning for my jams. For that you will need mason jars that are washed and dried. You will need this stick with a magnet at the end to pick up the jar lids from the water. You will need this big thong that we use to pick up the jars from the water. I am using this non-skid mat to tighten the jar lids because I lost my thong, but this works just fine. Need this big pot with the water boiling. Here I have the jars in the water boiling. Just make sure that water is at least an inch above the jar. At this point we are not adding the jar lids in the water. Now we know that the water has boiled for around 20 minutes. This is the time I will add just the outer jar lids, and we'll keep it boiling for around 5 minutes. Now that it has boiled for a good amount of time, it's time to shut the gas off and take the jars out. Now when I'm ready to take the jars out and we know that the stove is off, I'll just slip these jar lids in, and now we can start taking the jars out. Okay, so one at a time. Okay, now we can use the stick with the magnet at the bottom to take the jar lids out. Here now we have all the jars and lids ready to be canned. Okay, so once we have filled the jars with our jam and really tightened the lids, we will put the jars using this big tongue and put them in the boiling water. Again, even at this time you want to make sure that the water is at least an inch above the jar. Okay, see, the water is still boiling, but if the water has stopped boiling, you would like to wait until the water again starts boiling and then put the buzzer for around 10 minutes for the jars to seal. Okay, now the jars have been boiling for almost 10 minutes, and so it is now the time to turn the stove off. Okay, we'll take the jars out on a mat. Make sure you don't put it on a cold counter or it will crack. Okay. Now we will let the jar sit for at least 6 to 7 hours and cool completely. You will hear a pop for each jars, and that will ensure that they are sealed. So this was the general video on canning all your homemade jams and sauces. I hope it was useful, and if you enjoyed watching this video, please like and subscribe, as I shall be coming with more such videos. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.